Let's go with audio device. Let's see here. We should be good. The trials and tribulations of going live on the interwebs. Let's see here. Home. We are live. Okay, very good. Howdy, howdy, everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to the channel. So today, I gotta pull my sleeve down. It's a little uncomfortable. So today we're going to be talking about my minor EDC. This is just my pocket, what I carry back and forth to work because I don't really go anywhere else. But this is what I carry with me daily. As you can see, I'm really trying to minimize. I also throw the cube in there just because it's a nice fidget toy and I do know a trick with that. So it's a beautiful little setup. Everything is fairly flat and I really love this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to perform some of the pieces that we do here today. And if at any point I feel like I'm getting too sloppy, I will move on. But we will try to do the best as we can. This is something that I perform daily. High five to Marzina Hayes. Good to see ya. We will be opening Cube 52 later. I figured that'd be a nice addition to the old repertoire. So what I like to start off with, now keep in mind as we go through this, these are all modular pieces that I could start with or do single or however I want to do it. I can do any piece at any time, but here's what I like to start with. The ring. It's already on my finger. Okay? A good place to go from here is that the ring is already gone but back onto the finger. Alternatively, I can take that same ring off, throw it into the air, and then catch it onto my hand. Absolutely beautiful. Now, if we take the same ring, we put it over here, you can see the hole in the trick. Yeah, the loophole that is. So loophole. Throw it into the air, and then it reappears on the finger. Wowzers. You can actually take a look at that ring right there. So if you took a look at that ring, beautiful. Okay? You can hold it. You can have it in your life, in your purview. You can see it as much as you want. You can look over there. But it won't matter because the trick is happening right here. It blends in with the shirt, so it looks pretty nice. Ha-cha. Now what I like to do with this little doohickey is I like to take it, and I like to fling it that way at you real quick. Okay? Now, there's a couple of different things that you could do with it. In this case, I might use it as a little bow tie. I don't know. Let's see if it'll work as a bow tie. It's a little too tight, so let me go ahead and take it off real quick. So that's a fun little trick you can do with that. If you want to make it a longer trick, but as my opener, I jump right into this, right? So this has got to be the best knot that I know, and it's the double knot. And it's a beautiful little trick that you can do by having the spectators pull on the different ends so that they can magically see the ring melt through the ribbon. Ha-cha. I'm done with toy reviews. I am pretty much 100% into the magic realm. This is what I do on the daily. So they once again can check the ring, they can check the ribbon. Now, what's nice about this setup is if I wanted to, I could potentially do the ring separately. For the third go around, when I do it in this hand, I could do that separately. But what I like to do is I like to get the ring back on the finger, and now I say, after the ring has, being that it's a hungry ring, right? And I throw in this little gag reel. I don't know if it's going to go over well, so I'll just keep doing it until people tell me not to. So here it goes. Ooh, it's getting filled up. So I do a burp. I don't know. If I'm doing it for kids, maybe they'll enjoy it. I'm not really sure. But like I said, until I get some good feedback on it, that's what we're going to do. The ribbon, of course, is gone because the ring is all filled up. So I have some moments in there that are pretty built up. Sitting down, this trick was definitely not designed for sitting down. But just to get through the whole idea of the routine, as my opener, it's flashy, independent. Let's see. Well, I will return to the questions here in a little bit, but we're going to keep it magic-oriented today. Like I said, we got some live streams that are 100% about magic. We do some Q&A ones. We do live practice. That's more of an open forum, but I will answer that at the end. So going into the next part of what I carry with me, everything else is fairly flat. And like I said, it could be individual pieces. Now, here's the thing that's really interesting about the rest of this stuff. It all has a cards element to it, which I kind of wanted to get away from. So what if I had the cube here and I wanted to do something flashy with the cube? So what I would do is I would mix up the cube, because that's always a good place to start. Now this cube I recently dropped in the mud, so I may have to get a new one. But now that the cube is nice and mixed up, I can talk, I can wave my hands, I can even switch hands, and then of course I could just simply show you that the cube is solved. Hacha! So that's a quick cube solve. My hope is that maybe I can add in some extra Rubik's Cube tricks with this. I also have the 40th edition Rubik's Cube box that includes a couple of the other Rubik's Cube pieces that I might be able to add into other shows if I wanted to do a Rubik's Cube segment. But I love that. I can solve the cube in probably about 2 minutes, and with the quick solve idea, I can solve it in 5 seconds. So it's a beautiful little thing. So I love that. Anyway, let's take a look at another piece. We actually have 3 things here on the table. And here, well, let's go back for a second, because I do want to talk about each of these pieces in terms of my purpose and idea and carry them. So the ribbon through ring, or ring through silk, whatever you want to call it, is potentially, it's one of my favorite tricks. And I will be doing a video where I talk in longer detail about one of the things that I love about it, but I will do a little snippet conversation now. So some of the other stuff that I've performed recently has had some mixed interactions in terms of, was it me in the performance, or was it the spectator that I was performing for? And so that's really the dialogue that I'll be getting into in a further video, which is talking about interaction with spectators, how to identify a heckler, but also how to identify a neurodivergent audience member. I mean, that's really what you have to do. You have to identify who it is you're performing for, and you have to understand that the tricks that you're going to be performing might not work for all spectators. And so that's what I love about the ring through silk, is that it's flashy. Even if you catch what I do, it's just 2 ungimmicked items. But if you have gimmicked items and you're performing for certain neurodivergent individuals, they have pattern recognition as one of their everyday observational skills. So they're just going to see, like, oh, well, this is what happened here and that's what happened here. Even if you do misdirection, I mean, that they're going to see through some of that, because that's where their skills are. You can't beat that. So I love switching up the trick and the routines and the things that I do. So I like having a diverse repertoire of things that I can perform, so that I know that if I identify certain types of spectators, I have better magic for them. And so that's what I try to do. Yes, absolutely. Legos are fun. And it's the color aspect for me that really works, because it's loud. And that's what I love. I love when things are loud. You know what I'm saying? Squeaker. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to, we'll just go right across here, and we'll put these over here for the second. Now, this is a nice little card holder, and depending on the types of packet tricks you carry, you can have either one, which my sympathetic cards takes up. I could put it in one side, but I like to keep them separate, because the trick actually, the plot rather, has 2 piles. So that's a dedicated card pouch. Now, you could potentially carry a bunch of these. Here's what I carry. Okay, so I have 2 different things here that I carry, And I actually just did a video on this one, so let's go ahead and see if we can perform this. This works very well for social media, and it works very well if you're performing to a speed type of situation. So if you're walking up to a table and you're like, I got time for one trick, let me go ahead and do this for you, and then you're moving on. So that works very well there too. So the idea here is that you've got 4 queens, right? And the objective is for me to give you 2 and for me to keep 2. And I'm going to do it twice, and there's a reason for that. So basically, if I give you, say, the Queen of Diamonds, and then of course I also give you the Queen of Hearts, now you have the 2 red queens and I have the 2 black queens, but of course I'm magic, so with a little bit of magic breath, I have the 2 red queens and you of course have the 2 black queens. Now if that seemed too easy for you, it was. So let me go ahead and do it again, but this time I'm going to add a little bit of extra magic to it. That way it's just more memorable for you, right? So once again, we've got the 4 queens. That's all we've got is the 4 queens. And potentially we should have, yep, the Queen of Diamonds, just like last time, right? They never say do the same trick twice. What I say is do it better the second time. So there's 2 on the table, but last time I didn't show you what I had in my hand. I did in fact have the 2 cards, but this time you actually get to see the queens in the hand, right? So now all I got to do is turn them over. And once again, a little bit of magic breath. Well, that did not go according to plan. And that does happen. So, you got a little crash course on how this little doohickey works, because it did break live performance. So, I will have to fix that at a later time. So that is something that can happen. What do you do if it breaks and they clearly see what is happening with your plot? Well, quite simply, it broke. It broke. That's what happened. So my magic was too powerful for the props, and unfortunately I just started using that, so I'm not really sure how that works. But we're gonna go ahead and do the other packet trick now. So this one might work out a little bit better for me. Now I do have a live and in color presentation for this, but for this purposes I'm not going to do that. All we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 4 aces. So now the last one was 4 queens. Let's hope we don't have a blunder like we did last time. So we simply take the ace of spades and we've turned it over manually, but the rest of them, with a little snap, we can actually turn over, yeah, we can turn over the rest of them. Let's see here. Something like that, I guess. I don't know. So now you've got the first aces turned over. Now you should have the next ace, which is the old ace of... Yeah, that's the ace of diamonds. I guess I'm getting them confused, and I may have messed up the trick. I don't know. There's the ace of hearts again. There's the ace of diamonds again. You know what? We're going to start over. I don't know what's... Today is not going according to plan. Here, let's try it again. Here we go. We've got the 4 aces, of course. We're just going to go with it. This one is going to go there. And now that leaves us with 1 ace face up. But if we snap, we'll actually get a different ace. Yeah, a different ace. Wowzers. Let's see if we got it right this time. Look at that. We got the ace of clubs. Hey, what do you know? We actually performed a trick without any problems. That, of course, just leaves us with the ace of spades that we flipped over at the beginning, right? There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we've got it. Now, the real question is, did you see when the cards changed colors? Well, of course you saw the aces. They're all different colors. But no, we're referring to the red, the black, and the green. Haha! Yay, we got through it. So this is a nice little performance, and of course things can happen in terms of the routine going awry. And I perform this live, even when when I perform it. I very rarely, usually if I'm in front of the camera, I can do it multiple times. So that's the beauty of that trick. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and take a look-see at some comments here. We got a lot from Marzina Hayes. And let's see. The Joker. Yes, the Joker. So the Joker is amazing. Of course the Joker's amazing. I love the Joker. Anyway, we have these two here, and I really hope I don't mess these up. So this is my new wallet that I carry with me. It's a beautiful black finished wallet. I love this wallet. So when you have the sheen here, it's like a classic, right? The black wallet just looks gorgeous. Wait a second. Oh, did I say black? I meant brown. Yeah, this is the brown wallet. I absolutely love the brown wallet. You know what makes it even better? Yeah, it makes it even better when you take a look at this card here. Yeah, this card that we've got going on here. This is a red card. It is. It's a red card. So if we take this card and we put it on the wallet should actually start to look red. Wowzers. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Now I'll take this as an indicator that I should switch to the next part of the trick, right? Because red means stop, but green means go. Haha. Absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, I only have one question for you, and that question is, for anybody in the chat, what color is the wallet? Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is, of course, all the colors. Yes, there's the green, the black, the red, and the brown. Hacha. Absolutely beautiful. So that is my wallet trick. I love it. But that leaves us with this mystery card, right? Now, this is a little bit of mental magic, right? This card is like Schrodinger's cat, but it's a Schrodinger's card in this case. And it could represent any card in the deck. It truly can. It truly can. Until you say your card, and until I turn this over, we have a infinite number of possibilities. The answer is brown. Of course it's brown. Very good. Marzina, how would you like to name any card that's in the deck? I definitely wouldn't go with the Joker, though, because this is no joke. This is serious business. So go ahead and pick any card that's in the deck, and we'll see if this is your card. Ooh. The suspense is rising. Just like this card is rising into the air. Ooh, it's floating away. I better pull it back down. We're waiting. We're just gonna sit here until we've got an answer. I could use my phone. That's a potential thing that we can do. Usually it takes about 20 seconds. 4 of hearts. Oh, that is an excellent card. And yes, your card is in fact on here. Yeah, it's right down here. Because all the cards are on here. So you couldn't have lost. You simply couldn't have lost. So I set it up in your favor because we don't like to, set people up for failure. Now, I know, right? We couldn't have lost there. The card I chose and the card you chose were going to be the same regardless. So here's what we like to do instead. Okay? Now you chose the 4 of hearts, which is a low pip card, right? So this time what I want you to do is I want you to pick. Yeah, I want you to, if you could, pick a face card of some kind because it's the opposite in the deck, right? Now we have here my lock screen. Okay. So all I need you to do is go ahead and pick a face card for me. And I will wait until it shows up in the chat. Let's see if this works. So here's the chat. This is a magic trick just for Marzina, I guess. I don't see anybody else here. face card. Let's see if we got it. Let's see if we can do some magic here today. Some wonderful magic. Queen of Diamonds. Queen of Diamonds. Okay. So let's have a little look-see here. Yeah. So, remember, lock screen. Okay? We wave our hand over. Now, if we've done this correctly, all we have to do is simply rub our finger across, and we've got a queen. We've got a queen. It's difficult to see. Maybe it'll be better up here. And all we got to do, hopefully we've got it. Maybe we're off by one. I don't know. It looks like... Did we get it? I can't see. It's too bright. We got it. It's the Queen of Diamonds. Beautiful. We guessed your card. So that is my full-on nice little trick that I like to do once I get back to my live here. Yes. So that's the full setup that I do with the wallet and the card. Gets us into a really beautiful position of kind of like a three-phase setup there. So I like that. And then we still do get a magical moment where a card was predicted and selected. Beautiful. Okay, so then we have this last trick that we're going to do real quick. We might have a brief intermission because the little one has just woken up from her nap. So she may need some attention. But yeah, so we have this trick here, and then we're going to get into the Cube 52 stuff. We're just going to open it and take a look at it today, and then we're going to work on some tricks, and then we'll bring those out to you later. But yeah, so here's the idea. This deck of cards is over here. I keep that in the pocket. I have this envelope. It's a black envelope with a nice little window in it, right? Inside the envelope is a white envelope. So we do have an empty black envelope, and we do have an empty white envelope. Okay? Now we take the black envelope and we put the white envelope inside. And then you can hold on to that. That's for you. Okay? So then I'm going to have a card selected, right? It could be any card in the pack as long as it's not that one. I mean, it could be the 6, but we want it to come from the center. Now, I just chose that card at random, the Ace of Hearts. But we're not gonna do that. We're actually gonna give the deck a nice little mix. And then we're going to fairly as possible spread out the cards somewhere in the mix, and we're just gonna select one at random. Okay? That's gonna be your card of choice. And that card today is the 9 of Spades. Now, Marzina, are you happy? Or whoever's in the chat, are you happy with this card? Wowzers, that's a nice trick. So if you're happy with the 9 of Spades, go ahead and drop it in the comments. If you're just joining and you want me to reselect the card, that's perfectly okay. It's a fair choice. I'm not trying to persuade anybody of anything. So if you're happy with the 9 of Spades, just let me know. If not, we'll pick a different one. It does not matter. I can even pick the top one, the bottom one. It could be any card in the deck. Hacha. Be careful what you do on a live stream. Throwing cards. It's 12 spades. So what you're saying is you want me to do the Queen of Spades? Is that what you're saying? The Queen of Spades? Yeah, we can do the Queen of Spades. Here it is, right there. Okay, so you've named a card, and we have the card here. Now we're going to lose the card into the pack. Into the center of the pack it goes. And then we just got to make sure that we can mix up the cards in a fair and equitable way. We're going to do an overhand shuffle. Okay, and that is as fair as I know how to do it. Now you've had this envelope the whole time. Simply with a magical gesture, I give you the cards. Now you have the cards, I have the envelope. Absolutely beautiful. I simply go inside the envelope. I take out the white, and you can see the window. So you'll be able to see the moment that the envelope comes out. There it is, it's coming out. Boom. You've got this envelope, you can see clearly that it is in fact empty. Okay? You can clearly see that there is a card now in this envelope that was just empty a moment ago. So there is in fact a card inside of the envelope that was right in front of your eyeballs the entire time. I'm going to set that right there for a second. Okay, a beautiful place to go from here is to show you all of the cards. Yes, we're looking for the Queen of Spades. We see 2 queens so far. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Well, there was probably 3 queens there somewhere. Yep. And there's your envelope. Beautiful. We can fan out all of these cards. Now, you're not going to guess it. You're just simply not going to guess what this card is. I mean, yes, you are, because you know it's going to be the Queen of Spades. A freely selected card mixed up into the deck. 100% freely chosen. Lost into the pack. Appeared in an envelope that you could have held in your hand the entire time. Ha-cha. That's a lot of fun. That is a lot of fun. Now we've got Cube 52. This is, let's see, unlocking the cube 1 card at a time. So I absolutely love the box here. Murphy's Studio. Imagined and developed by Craig Petty. Magic TV Live. He's got some good stuff here. $35 is what I got it for, I think. Try the coin in your hand trick. The coin in my hand trick? Okay, I'll try the coin in my hand trick. Here we go. Okay, so this is what we have here. We have a Kraken coin. You know, that's a little bit small. Let's see if we can stretch it out a little bit. Now it's a little bit bigger. Yeah, now it's more of a $50 version. I kind of like that. But this is a small money trick, so you will see that the coin will change sizes, especially when we push it down to smaller. Here, let's take a look at it in the light. Whoa, dropped it a little bit there. Now we have the, yeah, this is the smaller one. But if you look at it over here, it is a little bit bigger. Yeah, I like that. So if we take this, we take the big coin, we're simply going to squeeze it down until it's smaller. Yeah. And it is, in fact, that's it. That's the only one. But again, simply by dropping it into the hand, we can make it bigger. And there you have it. There is the coin. Oh, we do have to end where we started, and that's just simply by giving it a little bit of a squeeze. So there was some, you know, some beautiful coin magic for you. I'm not carrying coins right now, so I did kind of get away from the idea of, I wanted to talk about these pieces. So, for instance, this is new, but this is part of my everyday carry. It's flat, but it's a trick, right? So I have that. Now I have the trick that I broke, which was a new one that I was practicing, and then I have the envelope trick. So I like to include a couple of pieces that I can practice on the go once I've learned it. And so I have been getting some use out of them. So I think that's going to be a good everyday carry, the envelope one. And then the Rubik's Cube is only a fidget toy. You don't carry it all the time. So it's really a back and forth. And I use my phone for the wallet trick. So I have it on me every single day. It's my wallet and my phone. And I have that routine ready to go every day. So there's spectator interaction with it. There's some fun little, color change happening. Metachrosis, it's a beautiful word. So there's a lot happening with that little trick, and it's happening in such a way that there's just some absolute beautiful magic. So the app that I'm currently using for that is not the higher end one that I want. So there's that. But either way, back to the Cube 52. 54 color challenge cards. Puzzle Cube, new expert edition. Speed challenge cards. Speed challenge, so I don't really want to flash this QR code or anything like that. But if you've seen it, great. If not, even better. Let's see here. Palazzo Puzzles and Entertainment, manufactured by USPCC. Yeah, so let's go ahead and open it up. Let's see. Take your high-speed cubing skills to the next level with the incredible new Puzzle Cube Speed Challenge cards. 54 color challenge cards for expert color cube practice. Simply mix the cards and select 9 color cards. And then basically goes on to say that you take the cards, putting them out into a grid pattern, and then you would then perform or mix up the cube to match that, to practice. Let's see, do we have a tab? We do have a tab. Okay, so we're going to try to preserve the bottom half. It's always better to try to preserve down here, because when you're carrying the cards. Now, with this trick, with this deck, it's not ideal. It just simply is not. I could do it with this, but this is my Elite Edition Reds. This trick would be a lot better with the standard deck. Now, I could do it with that one, not a problem. But the standard deck is going to be half the price of this one. So I kind of want to keep this one more pristine. So I should be opening up a pack, take it with me, and then that way I can have my Sharpie, I can write on the cards, and then it could be a signed card. That would be even better. So that's a nice way to go. And it would let me do some Sharpie magic. Boom. No stamp of approval. It gets my stamp of approval, but that's a different matter. Okay, so looking at this beautiful box, it kind of even looks like a little game box, which I really love. All the colors on it. Inside is white, which is fine. And the cards are not cellophane, which can happen sometimes. So the back of these cards are cubes. And from what I can see here, they're all different. I mean, maybe they repeat the pattern. I don't know. The first one is a card above this card, next card. So you've got some stuff happening here. I don't know. So I'm guessing there's some things. Reading the marks. Okay, so there is somewhat of a little bit of a stack work here, but not really relevant. All of the cards are just different colors. And we do have, it looks like, a double backer. So now, here's the interesting thing about this deck. So since there are potential here, because you should have basically a cube, but you've got 6 colors. So you can do some nice little pattern work there with that. But because every 7th card is the same color, then you're going to have a little bit of an issue if you want to use this for any regular. Like, if it's pick a card, that's one thing. If it's, you know, there's some other thoughts that go into that. But the fact that I could potentially carry this, so I'm really interested to see what kind of tricks come with it. Yeah, they're kind of like an Uno card idea, except for there's no numbers on them. So you probably could, but there's no like obstacle cards, and there's no transition cards. So there'd be no way to transition from a red card or a red card to blue card. There's no wild cards and things like that. And there's, like I said, there's no obstacle cards like a draw 2, skip, or reverse. So I love it. I mean, it feels great. It almost feels like you wouldn't want to do that with it. Kind of like a poster setup. Like, I don't know what kind of sleight of hand that you would be doing with it. That, like, you might not be doing cardistry with it. So what I really need to do is I need to get into the QR code and the tricks that come with it. so that I can really start delivering some really nice stuff with that. And yeah, so this is the Cube 52 deck. It just comes with different colors, and there's some magic to go along with it. So potentially, as far as cubing goes, I could do that as well. And the way that would work is you take 9 cards. Yeah, so you take 9 cards, is what it says on the back, and you would deal them out, and then you would see how long it takes you to solve that. The first thing that I would do, if that were going to be the case, is you have to solve for the center first, then you would have to solve for the edges, or for the, yeah, these edges here, and then you would solve the corner piece. So that is interesting, because that's a trick in itself, depending on how fast you can do that. Yeah, I mean, considering it might, since you're only solving for one side, it would be fairly quick. Like, I don't know if I could do it with this cube because I might need to oil it or something, but I potentially had I could solve like the flower or the one side in like 10 seconds. So if I got a little bit faster with the right cube, I could potentially get fast enough to solve the face in 5 seconds, and that would be a pretty interesting trick to say, haha, it's solved, and then I show that it's the same as the cards. Just an idea, spitballing. And that's the thing, there's so much inspiration here. The color I can do with this, I don't know if I could do a color change, but I could definitely use this for the livening color presentation. So that's Cube 52, and this is my current EDC idea. Remember, I carry a couple of pieces that I want to have as my everyday carry, and then I like to carry 1 or 2 things that I can do. Now, if I wanted to make this a little bit longer, I've got the deck of cards. That's hours of entertainment with the deck of cards. I have plenty of tricks that I could do with that. If I threw in some rubber bands, which I can wear on my wrist, then that's no extra space, and I can even do even more tricks with that. And I could potentially throw my coin purse in my pocket, and then there's another 20 minutes of work there. Potentially more, but I just say, like, for my everyday routines that I do, potentially there's a lot to offer there, and I absolutely love the idea of that. So let's take a look at the chat. They remind you of poker in the Old West. Okay, that's fun. We are going to take a look at the time. It's at 4:15. We are going to have to wrap this up. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this EDC carry. If you want to get into Magic, there's a lot of great resources to go with. Doug Kahn has just launched his learnsleightofhand.com or lsoh.org, and you can learn how to be a magician there. It's not just about learning tricks, it's also about learning how to perform. So keep that in mind. So if you want to get into doing videos, it's a great way to go. If you do want to do YouTube, Roberto Blake is an excellent resource to help you build your channel. Yeah, that's all I got for you today. So I'm going to take a look at the chat. We're going to count it down. If anybody has any questions, we're going to be out in about 10 or so seconds. Okay, well, I'll miss you too, and I will be back with a weekly live, as well as daily shorts and long-form content a couple times a week. So stay tuned for more tricks coming real soon, and remember, always remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we'll see you in the next one.